Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today I'm here in my closet once again talking about dreams. A very specific set of dreams because this is Dreamtime 10. Now Dreamtime is a series that I used to do a long time ago. Basically the idea of the series is that I have a dream journal. I keep a dream journal. I've kept a dream journal for quite a while. And so I wanted to basically talk about these dreams in some videos and put down some gameplay, you know, make a little chill video talking about some dreams that I used to have that I really loved and basically go from there. You know, I did 9 of these. They never really did well, but now that I have like around 530 subscribers, I think it's time to revive it. And maybe that won't work. Maybe we can't revive it. But if you want to hear more of these dream times, let me know in the comments below because I will totally do that because I am down to tell you more dreams from my dream journal. I think it would be a lot of fun to go over more dreams and stuff like that. But today is the 10th Dreamtime video that I've done. This one is a very special dream. It's a very old dream happening on the night of June 14th, 2011, or at least starting on the night of June 14th, 2011 on a Tuesday. It starts there, but this dream, as you'll see, is a dream that basically has a lot of continuity to it. It basically is a dream that was followed up by a dream later on in my life, and then another dream that was followed on later, and then another dream that was followed on later. There was like 5 dreams part of this like weird universe of dreams that I had. It was a weird continuity that I had in this one specific dream universe or something. It was a weird thing. It was a really fun, cool thing. And so I thought, you know, the 10th dream time, let's do something special and talk about one of the most special dreams to me, or at least the set of special dreams to me, which is this set right here. So starting off, basically I'm at this lake that I used to go to a lot as a kid, back around 2011, that sort of time period, because that's when this dream took place. There was this lake that we used to visit a lot where we would basically either just fish for the day or we would go camping for the weekend or something like that. And this lake in this dream was apparently it was the place of like a sinkhole that took down an entire city and then ended up getting flooded. So basically the lake was basically there was a town under the lake. Basically was the idea that started this dream. So I'm looking for treasure at this lake, and this ring flies up out of nowhere and hits me in the head, and I look around going, hey, who threw that, basically? And it turns out no one threw it. It turns out it came from the lake, and I'm like, I pick up what hit me. I didn't know what it was at first. I pick up what hit me, and it's like a ring. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Why would someone throw a ring at me? There's no one around me. It kind of sounded like it came from the water. Maybe there is something in the water. Let me investigate. So I end up going in the water, swimming out towards the middle of the lake and kind of going down a little bit, trying to look around and stuff like that. Something ends up grabbing my leg. Something really big and strong ends up grabbing my leg and trying to pull me down. I end up getting pulled down a little bit. I'm fighting it off. It ends up like kind of letting go, but it ends up scratching my ankle mostly instead of letting go, and I end up escaping. Basically I end up getting on shore, and then I find that there's this mark on my leg where this thing scratched me, and it's a very artificial looking scratch. It doesn't look like something where something just scratched me. It looks like a Z with a crescent moon basically behind it, so it's like a ZD kind of thing. It's a very interesting mark that I will try to put up on screen or something. Now this mark appeared on my ankle and everything, so now I'm like, okay, that's messed up. This treasure isn't worth it. I already have this ring anyway. Let's just go, basically. So I end up leaving, and we fast forward a little bit, and as the days go on, I'm getting stronger. I'm starting to get like super strength, basically. I'm getting stronger and stronger until eventually it turns out that I can turn into a dragon on command, basically. Like when I want to, I can turn into a dragon. So this ends up happening where I can now turn into a dragon suddenly. And so we fast forward even further. It's around Christmas now, and I find out that I have to stop all this evil that's coming for me, basically, because it turns out that there's a lot of people or a lot of evil that would want to capture, kill, or exploit the half-dragon people. And I'm half-dragon now. Basically, I end up getting chased by one of these evils until I end up in a position where I'm getting ambushed by other people or other creatures or something. I don't remember what they were. I'm pretty sure they were just like normal-ish people that had some form of strength. But anyway, I end up getting ambushed. From getting chased, I end up getting chased into an ambush. And then I find out that my family is the real target. So I end up having to escape this ambush, go and rescue my family, basically. So I basically end up saving my family, and that's the end of that first dream. But the dreams continue another day, and another day, I'm still part dragon. And while I was eating at a restaurant, because I end up going to a restaurant, I'm human, but I can turn into a dragon on command. I'm eating at this restaurant, and basically I'm with my family, and then I end up biting into something, and it just flat out knocks me out. I'm unconscious, I fall asleep or something like that, and I end up waking up in this prison cell with a bunch of other dragons. They're like all small. Like when I turn into a dragon, in the dream when I turn into a dragon, I'm like 10 foot, maybe 12 foot, with a big wingspan, obviously, but I'm not some massive like 20, 30, 50 foot tall dragon or anything like that, which you would expect from, you know, what you would see in fiction or whatever. But I'm kind of small, but still a dragon. These other dragons that are small, they're like 3 foot, 4 foot. They're not really that big at all, and they're walking on all fours and stuff like that. They seem more dragon than they do half dragon, but it turns out that they are half dragon. So they end up revealing that they're half dragons at some point. But basically, one of the dragons in this prison, he's a little small black dragon, and he ends up explaining that, hey, there's this guy who's been doing this. We don't know who he is, but there's some guy out there that wants to see all dragons captive, and who knows what. No one knows what he wants all this for, but there's someone out there that wants to capture all dragons and do something to them. And there's someone in charge of the restaurant who is working for this guy who is in charge of, you know, trying to capture all dragons. So basically I end up learning that this restaurant is a front for this dragon captive thing. I don't know how to explain it, but basically the person that owns the restaurant is a person that is hunting down these dragons specifically just to capture them, not kill them or hurt them. He just wants them captured for something. So I end up escaping with the help of that small black dragon, and I end up confronting the owner of the restaurant and basically fighting them off. It turns out the owner of that restaurant is part dragon, who for some reason wants all dragons captured. I still don't understand that, but the person that ends up owning the restaurant and capturing me and these other dragons is half human, half dragon. So I end up fighting him off, and it looks bad for me. The fight ends up going outside. I remember crawling up a building, you know, trying to fight him while crawling up a building and everything like that. And it gets to a point where it's like I can't defeat him. I basically was like, I can't do it. I can't beat this guy. So the other smaller dragons end up sharing some of their power to me somehow. I think they end up like spitting fire at me, and it like gives me extra power basically. And so they do that, and I absorb the power of like 10 different smaller dragons, and that ends up becoming more than enough, way more than enough to defeat this enemy. And I end up hitting him, and he ends up crashing to the ground and getting unconscious or something like that. And then police or something comes to try to collect him or something. So I end up escaping, making sure my family is safe and everything like that. And then the dream almost ends, but then right when the happy ending all happens, we fast forward back to the guy that I just defeated, and he basically escapes. He gets up and he leaves, flies away or whatever in his dragon form, and that's the end of that dream. But that's not the end of the video, because the dream continues in a third dream. That's right, another dream. This dream happened once again, where I was once again part dragon, except this time I kind of learned that I didn't have to be in my dragon form to use my powers. So I was kind of using them without, you know, having to turn into a dragon, and it ends up becoming too risky because people start to kind of catch on to what I'm doing, so I end up like just laying low. But then it turns out that my secret ends up getting out to the entire world because I ended up risking it too much. So my secret ends up getting out to the whole world, and when it does, this group of dragons that are half human, half dragon ends up approaching me and basically bringing me on to their team, so to speak, who basically this team wants to defeat this person who's out there to collect all these dragons. The top guy, whoever it is, that wants to capture all dragons and do who knows what with them. Basically, they bring me onto the team and explain that one day you're going to lead this team because you're like the chosen one, basically. And they said that I'm the chosen one. They knew I was the chosen one because the mark that was on my ankle earlier that I was talking about is still on my mark even all this time later. This is like 2 years later at this point, because we went to like 2 different Christmases. My ankle still has that mark on it, so they know that I'm the chosen one. They said that basically everyone gets that mark or something similar to the mark because they basically all got scratched by a dragon or found some piece of jewelry or something like that that allowed them to turn into a dragon. And so I end up learning all of this stuff, and then that's pretty much the end of the dream. This dream was a weird one because it was mostly an informative dream that just kind of taught me more about the lore and the weirdness of this weird dream universe that I'm dreaming about. But the dreams continue another day. That's right, a 4th day. the dream continues, and this time I wasn't just part dragon, but I also had new powers in my dragon form. These powers, I don't remember what exactly they were, but I think they had something to do with like ice and snow and stuff like that, because I end up fighting in a blizzard later on in the dream. But basically, I'm at a meeting with this team. We're trying to go over a plan to figure out what to do next on how we can find more of these prisons that are holding, dragons, how we can defeat those, how we can find out who exactly is responsible for, all the prisons, and who's responsible for wanting to do all of this and that sort of thing. And so we're in this meeting, and it gets ambushed by my evil twin. That's right, I have an evil twin now. And this evil twin comes right up to our like little meeting building. I don't know how to describe it. Basically, it's like a little house that we're meeting in. So he ends up ambushing this, and we have this like epic battle and everything like that. He ends up punching me, and I pretend it hurts. I fall over the ground and kind of roll a little bit, and I pretend that it hurt really bad, but it didn't actually hurt. This was some kind of strategy that I ended up adopting when all of this stuff started happening. Once I started practicing with my powers more and more, I basically got this like idea in my head that if I pretended that the first blow a villain did to me hurt really bad, then maybe I could trick them into not using their full strength, because maybe they would realize they don't need their full strength. And I don't know, it was a weird idea or a weird concept, but basically every single battle that I was in, I pretended that the first hit always hurt, even if it didn't, and it usually didn't. So that ends up happening, but then we fight a little bit more, and he ends up punching me again. This time he punches me so hard, and keep in mind I'm in human form at this point, so I get hit so hard, I get thrown across the parking lot. I hit the van that my team ended up using to get to the meeting place. So I hit this van, I blow through the back doors of the van, I crash into the van, the van topples over onto its side, onto his nose, and all of the stuff inside the van kind of crashed into me. So that hurt. That hurt a lot. And this kind of gets into a weird thing where these dreams, this specific set of dreams is special in the sense that whenever I got hurt in these dreams, like whenever I actually got hurt, I would wake up with the same exact pain. Now, I don't know what that means. I would assume it's something along the lines of like, oh, I'm subconsciously sleeping in such a way that my back hurts, so my dream is transferring that into its dream world, and it's trying to find a way to explain why I'm hurt. I would assume that's what the case is, but that's besides the point. That was just a weird thing I decided to throw in there because it was weird to me. But anyway, after that attack, after I get toppled over in the van and everything like that, I don't know what happens next, because the dream journal just doesn't say anything next, but I'm pretty sure that guy either left, or we defeated him, or we ended up retreating. I think we ended up retreating is what ended up happening. Or maybe we didn't, because the next dream continues and continues. I'm still part dragon, and I had to run away from home. Well, that means obviously I did escape, but I ended up running away from home and these hideouts and everything like that. I ended up abandoning the family. Like, I had to just straight up leave. I had to get out of there because it's too dangerous for them. My enemies are getting closer to me. So I didn't even have my team with me. I ended up just straight up going alone, because I'm the chosen one apparently, and I'm the one that this huge group or whatever it is wants the most, because I'm the chosen one to defeat him or whatever. So I end up running away and trying to escape, and I kind of escape. But then it turns out that my family ends up getting captured. Some of my teammates end up getting captured, and they're used as bait to pull me to, I think it was my evil twin, or maybe the guy behind everything. I don't know who it was. I'm pretty sure my evil twin was the guy that was behind all of this madness. And so he ends up coming to me and is like, I have your family, I have your friends, I have everyone that you care about. Come to me, basically. So I end up meeting with him, and sure enough, my family's there, the friends are there, whatever. And he basically tells me that he's looking for this item that would give him the ability to kill or control all dragons, basically. It was called the Dragon Claw. It was this metallic dragon claw artifact structure, not structure, but it was like this weird item artifact thing that was shaped like a dragon claw, but not exactly a dragon claw. It was like a weird shaped dragon claw. But anyway, he said basically, go find it. You're the only one that can get it, or something like that. I don't know what the deal was, but he was basically, go get it, and then I will release your family. I end up going on this journey. I end up learning that this dragon claw was indeed a thing that would allow him to control all dragons, and allow him to basically kill dragons, do whatever he wants to dragons, that sort of thing. So I end up finding it. I eventually find it, and I bring it back to him. This artifact, though, it doesn't necessarily just give you full control of dragons. It's possible to withstand the effects of it. It's possible to fight back against the effects of it, and that's very important because what ends up happening is I bring it to him. I end up bringing it to my evil twin, or this leader of all this madness, and trying to use it on him so that he could release my family, and we could get away, and then either destroy the artifact so that we don't have to deal with him trying to capture it or whatever. I bring it to him and I try and use it on him, but it doesn't work on him. It slightly works on him. You can tell that there's an influence on him. It's kind of weakening him, but he still is very, very strong, and he's withstanding the effects of it. So it ends up being a situation where I have to use the claw and my own abilities to end up defeating him. And I end up defeating him, and the dream just kind of ends. We kind of all celebrate. I don't remember what we ended up doing with the dragon claw, but that was it. That was the final dream in this weird 5-ish part dreamverse thing that happened, this weird continuity of dreams. I don't know how to describe it, but that's the full story of the dragon story, basically. And this was something that I wanted to, write a book on, or maybe write a book series on, or something like that. This was something I wanted to do, and I wrote a chapter or two here and there, but what ended up happening was I would write 1 or 2 chapters, and then that whole thing wasn't working, so I would start over, and then I would start over again, and it never ended up working because what ended up happening was the dreams just didn't combine good enough, basically, and it was hard to piece everything together in a way that made a proper story. But that's the story of this very special, very interesting continuity of dreams, this series of dreams that I had within a very short span of each other, all within the same month. So that was crazy. But I don't know where to go from here, other than that I think I ended up having more half dragon dreams later on in life. But they weren't attached to this weird continuity, or they just didn't matter to this continuity, or they just didn't matter enough, or maybe I didn't remember them, or maybe I wrote them down and can't find them. I don't know. I feel like I've had more dreams about it, but I don't think I have. But that's besides the point. That's going to do it for the video. That's all the dreams I had for this this little weird mix of dreams. So if you do like the video, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more Dream Time. And if you want to see more Dream Time and you haven't watched the other ones, I will link a playlist either on a card or on the end cards at the end of the video, so you can watch the rest of those if you want to, but you don't have to. If you want to see more of these Dream Times, let me know. And yeah, that's going to do it for the video. So please like, subscribe, share, do those wonderful things, because not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think I'm pretty sure we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.